Heyo, Hudson here with Planet 4 Gaming. I'm flying the P-51D 20NA, the premium Mustang. I really enjoy flying this plane, to be honest. I know it may not have seemed that way based on my less serious video on this plane. But yeah, I really like it. It's very fast for its battle rating. It has good high altitude performance and solid guns as well. A lot of people like to trash the 50 cals, saying they don't do a lot of damage, but in reality they have a very high rate of fire, and with tracer rounds, armor-piercing incendiary rounds all across the belt, you're very likely to set enemy planes on fire, and that's how the majority of your kills are going to go. So I do like those guns. Its turn time is not that great, but that's not all that big of a deal since it's not how you should be fighting. Its engine overheats fairly quickly, but once again, that's not a huge issue. You can just cut back on the throttle for a little bit, and that will not be a problem anymore. Its climb rate is not fantastic, so you're going to have to side climb if you want to get above the enemy. You don't necessarily have to get above them, as long as you have enough altitude to dive out and keep your speed up, and just play kind of cautiously for a bit. You should be fine. And it does wing overload very easily, so if you're going in a diving pass on an enemy and you're pulling out, or you want to adjust your aim, do not do these high G maneuvers or you're gonna fuck yourself up. Tough enemies to go up against include, of course, the Tempest and Spitfire, which are absolute seal clubbing machines on the British side. For the Germans, you're going to want to watch out for the Doras and the 109 K4. I'd actually say the K4 is tougher than the Doras because against the Doras you have the definitive advantage in turn time, and against the K4 it's a little bit closer. I don't know which plane is actually better, but it's very close, so you don't want to risk that too much, and the K4 can also catch up to you fairly easily, so that's a tough plane to go up against. On the Japanese, you got to worry about the J2M and the KI-84 for obvious reasons. And against the Russians, you're going to want to watch out for the LA-7 and LA-9, which can turn pretty well and accelerate very quickly at low altitudes. So yeah, that's what you want to be looking out for. We will go to a full game now. Okay, I'm against the Japanese, starting off at around 4,500 meters, which is usually more than enough altitude. KI-61 on my Tempest here. Spitfire is going down, so there's no one in the area to help him out. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to dive and build up enough speed to catch up to him, and I should be within range fairly shortly. Closing in fast, so yeah. And within about 6 meters, I open up. Not the best aim in the world by far, but I do critical damage to his tail, and he's actually going down now. Surprisingly, he did not catch on fire, which is disappointing, but whatever. He's going down. And I get the assist for some reason. Not really a big deal, but it really seemed like I should have gotten the kill there. I mean, he was flying fine until I came up to him, so I don't know what the deal with that was. But no time to worry about that. Their team still has plenty of fighters left, and we're starting to lose our fighters, so gonna have to sort that out. There's a G5N over here, which is way too tempting of a target for me. I can see I have teammates over there in a bit of trouble, but this guy will not set me back too much. I'll make a diving pass on him, and then use the energy built up to head over to the enemy fighters, whether I can kill him or not. So, diving in, get a solid burst in his left wing, and he's on fire, and that's all I need. I'm getting out of there now. G5N is one of the more vulnerable heavy bombers in the game. It's kind of pathetic, actually, for a machine gun armed fighter to take out a bomber so easily. But I'm not complaining. Just gonna do a quick loop to bleed off the speed I have built up and dive in on these zeros here. Just latching on to the one in the back. He's going very slow, easy target. Set him on fire, and there he goes. Try to get some shots into the second one, but my rudder's fucking up my aim, so not happening. But I've got plenty of speed built up, so I'm going to escape very easily and just set up another attack run. No problem. So a quick turnaround there. And I've got him in my sights. He's flying defensively. And get solid hit there, hit his oil tank, but it's nothing serious. I'm not going to get the kill for this one. Friendly finishes him off. My frame rate goes into the shitter and I almost crash into a mountain, but somehow managed to pull it off. And we've got several fighters left, and they're down to one, I think. So, I'm gonna fly towards the base. I don't want to be caught all on my own in case the last fighter is at high altitude. And that was a wise move, as you will see later. I'm climbing as well, by the way, obviously. I want to have a lot of altitude built up, no matter what happens. So, last guy is a J2M. Not really surprising that the best fighter on their team is also the last fighter on their team. The Zero is not a... The Zero and the Ki-61 are not really competitive with the P-51. Obviously, the Zero is a great turn fighter, but the P-51 can B and Z all day, as many of you already know. But the J2M, on the other hand, is a very good climber, very fast, not quite as fast as the P-51, but I would say it's better at accelerating. So yeah, very competitive plane at this battle rating. It actually got bumped up to 5.3. In this game, it's still a 5.0. So in that sense, they would have been rivals at the time, the P-51 and the Raiden. And I guess they still kind of are, but it's now the one with the higher battle rating. So after taking out that Mustang, who did a shit job of defending himself, he didn't even really put up a fight, just went into the fetal position and submitted to the Raiden. Anyway, because of that, he's lost altitude, and as he started climbing up, he lost quite a bit of speed, so I'm able to catch up fairly easily. But he goes in the defensive, does a kind of a split S there, and dodges all of my rounds. I didn't pull quite enough lead. And then he takes it into the vertical, dodges me again, and now I've bled off a lot of speed, so I'm going to level out here. I don't want to get caught in a low-speed turn fight with a Raiden. But I guess he had the same idea because he heads off in the other direction. And the Spitfire on my team has come to my aid as well, so I'm not too worried right now. The only problem is if he spends the rest of the match running the whole time, which is never fun. I know he doesn't have a lot of options right now, but running the whole time is just boring for everyone. After getting turned around, he's now even further away, and he goes into a dive to escape quicker. I'm not going to follow his dive, though. I'm going to wait for him to lose some of the speed he's gained, and then I'm gonna go into the dive after him so I can catch up, and that's what I'm doing here. Just using the Mustang for what it was made for, chasing down enemy fighters. Keeping WEP on the whole time to build up as much speed as possible. I don't really come close to overloading. You can go to around 850 as long as you don't pull any extreme maneuvers. You can see my oil overheating, but I'm not really worried about that right now. I know this game's going to be over quickly. So, yeah, I'm just going all out. And I know I'm not gaining on him super fast, but it's steady enough that he's not going to get away. He goes into a sharp turn. I'm being very careful not to wing overload. I don't want to turn too sharp. Get off a quick burst. A few rounds, that's all it takes with tracers, and he's on fire. And that'll be the end of him. I did something kind of dumb here. I turned around after him, and he gets a few shots in me there. But I'm okay. And it's not a big deal anyway. If I go down, whatever. We win it either way. So yeah, that'll be the game. Solid match against Japan. 3 kills, 2 assists. I can't complain. That KI-61 I still think should have been my kill, but whatever. I got 3. Honestly, once you get around that many, it doesn't make a difference how many kills you get. So, yeah. Going against the Japanese, you just want to make sure you don't get caught off guard by one of those Raidens or KI-84s, and you should do fine. They're not that tough. Some people complain a lot when I'm not on New Guinea. Like, oh, fuck this map, Japan OP. They're not OP. You can easily counter Japanese fighters if you know what you're doing. Alright, now we're up against the Germans. It took me a very long time to find a decent game against the Germans. Usually my team either gets totally raped or we are the team doing the raping. And either way, I'm only able to get 1 or 2 kills max, which is not super interesting. So this game is fairly decent. I'll give you that. BF-109 G6 down below me. He's gone way too far into our territory without climbing. I don't know if he's a more experienced player or not, but that's not the greatest bit of decision making. He's all alone. And I'm not going to turn around after him because I see there's a P-51 on my team in the area. And I'm just going to let him go after him. If he can kill him, great. If he can't, and he can make him evade, then I'm going to turn around and go for this 109. And in the meantime, I'm going to get as much altitude as I can, while I have plenty of distance built up, so I can dive in if I need to. So he's not closing as fast as I would like, the teammate I mean, Deadpool. I don't know what he's doing. He's not very, he doesn't have much initiative to go for this kill like many American players do. He's not the most aggressive player out there. But he does get the 109 to evade, and I'm going to turn around and see what I can do. So it looks like Deadpool missed him more or less completely. Which the 109 is a solid turn fighter against the Mustang. I can't really blame him. He does try to climb back up, but he's not got enough speed built up to catch him. And it's up to me to kind of chase him down. So with all the speed I have built up, I'm gaining on him at a fairly steady rate. Within 2 kilometers now, and I'll be in gun range shortly. And even if I can't kill him, there's 3 allied fighters in the area, and he's still got no one around. That's what you get for just going straight into battle without any friends nearby. Alright, within 8 kilometers now, and he's climbing, closing the gap very quickly, and I actually end up getting too close. I'm getting a few hits in there, but not the best aim in the world. Solid hit there. Surprisingly, he never caught on fire, and I got in close, like, within my convergence range, and the bullets are not even able to hit him, because I'm too close. That's why I kind of like planes with fuselage-mounted guns. But after my second pass, I'm able to shoot his tail off, which is very unusual for American 50 cals. Somehow he never caught on fire. Usually it's fire damage that kills fighters, but not in this case. So yeah, not the most clean kill I've ever had, but I got the job done. And I can see there's some action down here at low altitude. The Germans do not want to be at low altitude. I don't know what this team was thinking, but they really took the bait that my teammates set up for them, getting into turn fights at low altitude. So I can see a 109 and a 190. I'm going to go for the 190 because it's behind. There are a lot of enemy fighters over there, but I'm already in my attack run, so they're just going to have to deal with it. Closing fast, and when I'm in range, start opening up. He's doing some maneuvers, not trying to evade me, but trying to get guns on the other guy. And I managed to take out his oil tank, so not a bad run. He'll be fine for a few minutes at least, but he'll be out of the action soon, whether one of my teammates can take him out or not. And I do see that 410 off in the distance. The 410 is not necessarily the toughest enemy you'll face, but it can be pretty deadly in situations like this where I'm at low altitude, I can't build up speed quick. The 410 can build up speed fairly quick, and for a heavy fighter it is pretty maneuverable, so you do want to watch out for them. And it only takes a really quick burst for them to take out a small fighter like the Mustang. So, latching onto the 190, he's on my teammate, so I gotta help him out. Taking it into one more turn, and then he's on fire. Quick burst, that's all it takes. Do I need to reiterate that anymore? And he goes down. So now I'm keeping it straight and level. I want to keep my distance from that 410, which is actually catching up to me a bit there. And when my teammates start to engage him, I'm going to go into the vertical. Just loop around to get guns on the target. Roll over. Quick burst. Get his oil tank on his right engine, I think. And I messed up something pretty good because he goes into the ground. Maybe he just couldn't pull out of that maneuver, I don't know. But I get the kill. And the enemy team has one Focke-Wulf left, who did fairly good actually. And that'll be it. Get a quick light pillbox kill, and that's the game. So, what have we learned here? The P-51 is a solid plane as long as you know what you're doing. A lot of planes in the game you can kind of adjust your play style based on what fighters you're going up against. That is not really the case with the P-51. You want to be using it for boom and zoom, whatever planes you're going up against. Obviously there are some you can get away with more turn fighting than others, but as your default mode of attack, you're going to be wanting to climb to a reasonable altitude, dive in, get your shots off, and get out. And that's how you're going to be successful flying this plane, at least by my experience. Now, provided you do that, the biggest threat to your team is going to be your team, who we all know the US players are usually somewhat incompetent. That's just going to be something you're going to have to deal with. The worst is when your team is half B-17s. I've had many experiences with this where they always beg for fighter cover, but don't wait for fighters. How do you think we're going to climb up to you? Do you think it happens by magic? Like we can teleport up to 5,000 meters at the start of the game when you're just chugging along, heading straight for the enemy base? It doesn't work that way. And even provided we could, what is the advantage to covering a B-17? B-17s never win games. The last time I saw a B-17 win a game was back about a year ago, when they were overperforming and bombing out bases left and right. But yeah, those days are long gone, so B-17 pilots, if you want cover, you're gonna have to wait, and I'm not covering you because I think it's valuable to the team's efforts. I'm just doing it because I know there's gonna be enemy fighters who want to get the quick, easy B-17 kill, and then I can then take them out. And whether or not the B-17 survives is none of my concern. So yeah, there's that. There's the P-51 pilots who like to strafe AAA and artillery, which I don't get. Let me set the record straight here. The what am I trying to say? The P-51 is a solid ground attack plane if you load up with tracer rounds. Any belt with armor piercing, it doesn't matter. Tracers are the best because they have 100% armor piercing incendiary. Load up on that, take out pillboxes, which you can do, take out tanks, which you can also do, medium tanks, I've done it. You can win the game that way, and you get more RP than taking out artillery. I don't understand why people don't do this. I assume many of them don't know, but you think they would by now, so yeah, that bothers me. Other than that, just do what I said if you feel like flying this plane the way it was intended to be flown as a fighter. Just try to do the things I do. I'm not the best P-51 pilot out there, but I have some idea what I'm doing. And you should be fairly successful. So yeah, I'm sorry this video took so long to be made. I've been very busy lately with school, but for the next few weeks my schedule should be fairly clear, and I think I'll be able to upload more frequently. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the parody video I made about a month ago now. Seeing how the biggest complaint I get on my videos is that my voice is too monotone, maybe that was a good thing that I uploaded that. I don't know. But anyway, this has been Hudson with Planet 4 Gaming. Thank you for watching, and get the fuck out of here.